Hey, what's going on today, guys? It's Trey. Welcome back to the channel. As always, welcome back to sunny, beautiful Germany. Today, we're gonna be talking about the 5 best ways to move here to Germany. This is probably the #1 question that I get asked the most via Instagram and via social media, is people are always asking me, Trey, how do I actually get to Germany? What's the easiest way? It seems very difficult. I'm hoping that I can answer a lot of questions for you guys in this video because let's face it, Germany is a pretty awesome place to live. Now, before we dive too deep into the video, I do just want to give you guys a quick background on myself. So hi, my name is Trey. I'm an American living here in Stuttgart, Germany. Before we actually decided to move here to Germany, we actually lived in Hawaii, believe it or not. And I'm sure some of you guys are probably wondering, like, Trey, why on earth would you leave paradise to come here to gray, cold Germany? Well, we'll explain that in another video, but when the opportunity arose for us to move here, we just could not pass it up. This is a truly amazing place to be, and we just decided to pack up and leave Hawaii and move here to Germany. Now, the first way to successfully move to Germany that we're gonna talk about are via specialized roles. Now, what is a specialized role, you may ask? Well, it's pretty simple. IT, medicine, construction, engineering, nursing, specialized roles that only a select amount of people in society are capable of actually fulfilling. So for example, Germany right now is having a really bad nursing shortage. For some reason, there's just not too many nurses here throughout Deutschland. I did write some notes that I wanted to share with you guys. So according to the DKG, in the year 2022, there were approximately 14,000 vacant positions for registered nurses in German clinics, with an additional 8,000 vacancies in intensive care units. So pretty shocking stuff when you think about it. Which, to be honest, for a country as large as Germany and with the 3rd largest economy in the world, that's pretty scary that not too many nurses are working at the moment. Taking a look at another job specialization, if you work in tech or IT, Germany is an incredible country to live in. Some of the world's largest and most profitable companies are right here in Germany, just in Stuttgart alone. Literally, if I look out my window right now, you can see Bosch, you can see Porsche, you can see Mercedes-Benz, Siemens. There's some really awesome opportunities for individuals that work in IT right here in Germany. And actually, some of our friends that live here in Germany, that's how they got here. And since there's such a large focus on cloud services and cybersecurity to protect these companies and their assets, this is really where you want to be. You can get a chance to work for some truly amazing companies. Now, there are gonna be some caveats that come with working for some of these German companies. 9 times out of 10, they are gonna want you to be proficient in German, but for the most part, they will obviously give you the opportunity to learn the language. Because let's be frank, German is a pretty difficult language to learn. But if you find yourself going to a lot of after-hours events or making friends with Germans, you'll pick up the language pretty quickly. The people here are pretty nice, for the most part. The next best way to move to Germany that I want to cover are via military installations. And that's actually how we got here. For those of you that don't know, there are several US military installations found all throughout Germany. And just here in Stuttgart alone, there are actually 4 different American military bases. So there's a lot of opportunities here. Now, government contractors, especially here in the Stuttgart area, are actually gonna be the dominant workforce on US military installations. Because actually here in Stuttgart, that is actually the EUCOM headquarters and the AFRICOM headquarters. So this is really the place that you want to be. Now, probably the #1 field that you will find most government contractors working in is actually in IT services. So cybersecurity, cloud services, back-end support, any level of IT that you could think of, that is what you will find here in Germany. Get your cybersecurity certifications, and that is an easy way to get here to Germany. You're really giving yourself the best possible chance to get a role here. What I would recommend doing is, if you don't have any cybersecurity experience, is just either sign up for a boot camp, listen to a podcast, or really just study on your own. There's so much great YouTube content out there about cybersecurity and really about IT in general. Give yourself 6 months and you can obtain these certifications and find your way right here to Germany. Hey guys, Future Trey here. So I realized while I was editing this footage yesterday that I completely omitted two amazing opportunities readily available here in Germany to American citizens. Now the first one that I wanted to talk about is being a teacher with DODEA. Now DODEA stands for the Department of Defense Education Activity, and basically you're a teacher. So if you have a teaching certification, this is one option that I would highly recommend. And in fact, if I wasn't working with the company that I work for, I would 110% work with DODEA because the benefits are world-class. Now, the second opportunity that's readily available here on American installations in Germany is if you work in mental health services. So if you are a psychologist or a therapist or a counselor, or if you work in any psych-related field, I would highly recommend considering Germany as an option. And as I mentioned, there are so many bases here in Germany, and the government really prides themselves on making sure that their workers, as well as the children, are taken care of. So if you want to work at a school on base, that's an option. If you want to work with veterans, that's another option. If you want to work with active duty personnel, that's an option. The opportunities are endless when it comes to mental health services with the United States government. All right, let's get back to the video. The next best way I recommend getting to Germany is to attend a German college or university. Now, this one's actually a pretty interesting one because as most of the world knows, tuition is actually free here in Germany. Now, there is a caveat. If you're coming from an outside European Union nation, you actually have to obtain a residence permit to qualify for the free tuition. But on the bright side, Germany has some of the best universities to attend in the world. Now, obviously, another thing to keep in mind is they're not just gonna let anybody into most colleges here in Germany. You have to have the grades to back it up. You basically have to bring in transcripts to prove to them that you are a worthy enough candidate to attend school. They're not just gonna open the floodgates and let you in. But if you are an individual that actually wants to study abroad, Germany is a great country to do so. And if you find yourself loving your time here in Germany during your 4 years of study, you can also qualify to live here once you graduate school. And since you would have a degree from a German accredited university, that's actually gonna strengthen your chances of not only getting hired here in Germany specifically, but if you wanna explore other European nations, having a degree from a German university is highly desirable. Now, I'm sure you guys probably saw this one coming from a mile away, but the fourth best way to move here to Germany is to actually marry a German citizen. Not too crazy of an idea when you think of it. Now, I know historically in countries around the world, people marry citizens in certain countries to obtain citizenship, and then after a few years, they leave that individual. And obviously, that's something that does happen here in Germany. I don't recommend doing that. Just try to find somebody that you love and appreciate and be with them. But Germany is very, very lenient when it comes to becoming a naturalized citizen via marriage. Now, according to the German government themselves, spouses or registered same-sex partners of German citizens are eligible for naturalization after 3 years of legal residence in Germany. They must have been married or in a registered partnership for at least 2 years at the time of application. The general requirements for naturalization also apply. So what that means basically is if you meet somebody here in Germany, you can't just run over to the Rathaus and become a citizen. That's not gonna happen. You have to be here for at least 3 years, and then Germany will consider allowing you to be a resident of the country. Now, the interesting thing about this one is I've actually met a lot of men and women here in Germany that have actually become residents via this way. In fact, this is probably the one method that I've actually seen the most in person, right? And so what I mean by that is a lot of people come here, right, via United States military, United States government, you know, coming here for school, and they meet a German citizen, they fall in love, they start a family, right? And then that person becomes a citizen. So that is the one method that I would say I see the most. And for the most part, it's a pretty safe bet, let's be honest. Now, if you don't love the person and you're just sticking it out for 3 years, that's not right. But in hindsight, if you love a German, right, you just gotta stay here for 3 years and become a citizen. So really not that difficult. Now, the fifth and final method that we're gonna talk about is, in my opinion, the most difficult, but it is definitely the most well-respected method of becoming a German citizen, and that is becoming a German citizen via immigration. Now, what I mean by this being difficult is there are a lot of different roadblocks set up to become a German citizen. And this obviously exists in most countries around the world. Most countries aren't just gonna let people come in and grant them citizenship. It just doesn't work that way, especially here in the Western world. But Germany specifically, they really make people work for their citizenship. Now, according to the German government, to be eligible for naturalization, a person has to have legally lived in Germany for at least 8 years and possess the appropriate residence permit. So 8 years, that's a pretty long time, right, when you think about it. But if you love Germany, right, and you want to assimilate into this culture, it is well worth it at the end of the day. And as somebody that has lived here for over a year, I definitely think that it's worth the wait to become a citizen. One final thing I wanted to speak about regarding immigration is I think it's very important to remember that while Germany does have its customs and its German way of doing things, Germany is very much a country that is made up of immigrants. And I think that that really adds so much to Germany. And while a lot of people, unfortunately, today don't like the fact that there are so many immigrants coming here to Germany, I think a lot of immigrants, for the most part, bring so much to Germany. They bring so much vibrancy and so much culture. They help strengthen the economy. I do think that it's important to remember that it's not easy to become a citizen of Germany. You know, there's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through at the end of the day. But when all is said and done, you know, when those 8 years go by, right? And those 8 years, you have to, you can't have any criminal record, right? You know, you can't be beating people over the head and robbing people left and right. They're not gonna make you a citizen. They're not even gonna consider you. You have to have a squeaky clean record, and you have to do things the right way, the German way. And so as long as people understand that before they decide to invest their time and energy into moving here and becoming a citizen, it's really worth it at the end of the day. Like I said, I am an American, right? So I'm obviously from the United States of America. So one thing that's important to remember there, right, is typically it takes around 18 to 24 months to become a US citizen. Now, obviously, does that happen with everybody? Of course not. A lot of it depends on what country you're coming from. A lot of it depends on what state you live in. A lot of it depends on what political party is running that state. So a lot of it depends on what political party is actually running the country, right? When Trump was in office, it was very difficult to become an American citizen. And it didn't even matter if you were doing things the right way. That's just the way it is, unfortunately, when certain political parties are in power. So do keep in mind, though, it is a lot harder to become a German citizen than it is to become a US citizen. So they're not just opening up the floodgates here in Germany and letting people in. But like I said, it is very rewarding if you follow the steps, if you do things the German way, you can become a German citizen. So that's the list, guys. And really that's gonna do it for me. I'm sure you guys probably have a ton of questions. So as always, like I say, use the comment section below. Ask me any questions that you have. And one group that I would really love to hear from is if you are one of those individuals that I mentioned, somebody that became a German citizen via the 8-year process. If you're somebody that's in the United States military, if you're somebody that married a German citizen, hit me up. Let's talk in the comment section below. Talk about your experience. Tell me, was it easy? Was it difficult? Was it worth it? Are you trying to leave? Do you love this place? Do you hate this place? Let's talk productively. Yeah, I'm excited to make more of these videos. And if you guys have any other questions for me that you would like to see in a future video, please let me know in the comment section. I'm going to link my Instagram in the description below. Leave me all the messages you guys want. I miss you guys so much. This studio is awesome and amazing. I love being here. Yeah, I'm excited for this. So as always, thank you guys for the continued love and support. We just hit 11,000 subscribers recently. I am so thrilled about that. I appreciate you guys so much. If you guys did appreciate this video, please give it a huge thumbs up as it helps the channel in a number of ways. If you felt like you got some value from this video, I invite you to subscribe to my channel because we just talk about the realness here. I'm here to help you guys and make this as transparent of a medium as possible. So if you guys have any questions at all, if you want to know how to start a lawnmower, if you want to know how to tie your shoes, if you want to know how to hopscotch, ask me whatever you want and I will get back to you and I will answer your questions. I love you guys. I miss you guys. As always, thank you for the continued love and support. Thank you. Mahalo for watching.